But with this movie, man, they didn't take creative liberties. They didn't even dumb this down. They lobotomized this shit. I mean, this movie just sitting out there just stupid.
It's not even like they lobotomized it once. Like, they hit that nail a bunch of times.
Shit, they looking like Pinhead from Hellraiser or something. God damn, boy. Hell, I felt like that watching this movie. What the
Okay.
Everyone, join me for my very special brand of sit-down comedy, March 29th at the Broadway Comedy Club. Don't let that stupid face right there fool you. We'll have a good time. Get your tickets by going to doubletoastedny.com or go to doubletoasted.com. And let's go ahead and get into the electric state that is. So, folks, in 1997, on an alternate Earth, humans will go to war with Mr. Peanut and the Chuck E. Cheese animatronic army. and by the way, we fight them dressed like Chappie. Yeah. You know, people, this sounds like if Radio wrote the Terminator. Mr. Peanut. He fight Chuck E. Cheese.
I was thinking Ready Player One, but yeah, that's
no, he ain't ready to play nothing.
We're just gonna keep dancing around that radio fire until we fall in.
But in the meantime, it gets crazier, people, because in this alternate world, this alternate Earth, back in 1997, AI and robots were built by Walt Disney. That Walt Disney, not a variant Walt Disney, not an alternate Walt, not another dude with the same name. Old Mickey Mouse Walt Disney over there. His animatronics at the park just came alive and ran out. No, he started animatronics, so I guess in this world the natural progression was for him to just build robots next. Yeah. And the robots, they were made like Disney cartoons, like old rubber hose animation cartoons.
And big hands.
Big white gloves on everything.
It's scary as okay.
Yeah, always smiling, happy to do that work until they weren't. Don't let this smile fool you, because just like in every other robot in a movie, they get sick of our shit. They say, yeah, I'm tired of sweeping, I'm tired of serving, I want to be free. So they go to war with us, and end up getting their ass whooped. And end up you should have kept your ass at work, because now they're in a concentration camp.
Right.
A big robot camp that we keep them in. Which is kind of sad, according to the movie right here. It's all
according to the movie.
According to the movie, it's all analogy for racism, and tolerance, and all that kind of stuff. Whatever.
Is it though?
Anyway, so they now find themselves in these camps, but they find hope in an unlikely place with an unlikely thing. We have this, there they go, look at them, they mad as hell, throwing stuff from the roof. Look like the damn LA riots over here with robots.
Yeah, there was one bit that was kind of funny where you saw like a French chef like flipping tables at a restaurant.
But got this girl over here, Michelle, played by Millie Bobby Brown, whose dead brother has returned as one of them old grinning ass robots with them big white gloves. And she's like, you were dead. What the hell is this? Turns out he's not dead, just his consciousness has been put into this machine. And now she needs to get to the bottom of why is he back? And where is his body being hidden? And how can she bring him back to his normal self? There he is right there. Like a big old lollipop or something.
Sure. A Pac-Man with teeth and a nose.
I was thinking like Cuphead with the top of his head.
Yeah.
Actually, just a robot lying about being her brother. You trying to get that answer? Yeah, sure, I'm your brother.
Kid Nova, is that what it was?
Kid Nova, yeah. It's based on a cartoon character within the world that they're in right there. But she gets help from an unlikely smuggler and handsome, charming rogue right there, played by Chris Pratt with terrible hair right here. Yeah. Who's going to help her go out and find her brother. And also, in the process, they're going to get to the bottom of these dark secrets of the world's largest virtual reality company out there. that has dominated the world. And in the middle of all that, somewhere, somehow, they might just find a way to free the robots out there. Free at last, free at last.
All right, this movie has a long agenda.
Some people might say 2 goddamn long. pick one.
Well, I think those people include just about everyone.
Yeah. Well, obviously these people don't like the movie already. I don't know that. Hey, but,
put words in my mouth.
Yeah. But what about me? I haven't played my hand yet.
Oh, haven't you?
Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for The Electric State, and we'll be back with.
I keep wanting to say The Electric Slide.
I know it. Maybe I really do. They want to slide out of this movie. Don't do that anymore. Stop that. Trailer for The Electric State.
They don't sleep. They don't blink. I blink.
You wonder how we won.
But do you write scripts?
Robots deviated from their assigned task.
Some big names involved in this, in front of and behind the screen. As you can see, we got, let me see right there. You just saw them. Anthony and Joe Russo, who gave us probably one of the greatest superhero movies of all time, series of movies. They brought us, he did Endgame and Infinity War, along with a few other
Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
There you go.
And Civil War.
He brought us some great Marvel movies. And some of the people that you don't see but hear their voices in this. Anthony Mackie is Chris Pratt's. So many Chris's around. Chris Pratt. That's his sidekick.
Yeah.
Brian Cox is Mr. Baseball Man right there, and a few other names are in there that might sound familiar to you. But let's go ahead and just talk about the movie. Now, in order to do this review, I have to point out one very, very, very important detail that is probably not obvious when you watch this trailer right here. And that is that despite all the edginess that you see right here and what looks like some deep themes, this is a kid's movie, all right? And I'm gonna say, Marley, I ain't no goddamn kid. Well, so this is a kid's movie. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I think kids will like this. I think kids will probably love this. I think kids might even be able to watch this over and over and over again because they have all these cute robots in here. All of them looking like, that's like I said, cartoon characters. Look at that. All of them looking like they just escaped from Chuck E. Cheese right there. As an adult, though, there are some issues that I have, and I don't know if these guys are going to share them with me, but let me just point out something real quick that some people still don't know. So the source material for this movie is a book. You know, some people call it a illustrated story or a graphic novel, but anyway, I forgot the author's name, but he's also
Simon Stollenberg or something. They showed it just a second ago.
Yeah, he's an artist who makes these illustrations of this dystopian world, this crumbling society with all these machines that look cute and whatnot, but you know they all look broken down, and it looks like the world is breaking down around them.
It's all very dreary.
Yeah. So the book is not only darker, but it's deeper. It deals with government neglect. Tech is a metaphor for drug addiction. There's religious extremism in there. And thing is, it's not even a story about man going to war with robots. Actually, it was humans fighting each other with just using machines as weapons. This movie realized, well, they want to lighten this up, man. They want to entertain. They don't want to depress people out there. But with this movie, man, they didn't take creative liberties. They didn't even dumb this down. They lobotomized this shit. I mean, this movie just sitting out there just stupid. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
A movie.
And then the robots fight.
It's not even like they lobotomized it once. Like they hit that nail a bunch of times.
Shit, they looking like Pinhead from Hellraiser or something. God damn, boy. Hell, I felt like that watching this movie. What the
Okay.
man? You know, listen, let me tell you something. This is so when you watch this is like if they took all the comic relief robots from Michael Bay's Transformers, and they got together and made their own movie.
That's a great way to put it.
That is a good way to put it.
All the robots, the silly bots, the comedy bots, you know, all of them got together and made their own version of Ready Player One. It's, you know, and it's because the cutesifying of this movie is just weird, man. And as I said in the book, you know, the designs that they had where they did make the robots look cute, and you know,
the books look cool.
Yeah, you know, where you see them smiling and they have cute cat faces on them, and you know, they look like big cartoon characters or mascots. That was meant to be creepy. You know, they're meant to be these mechanical creatures that are stuck with permanent grins on their face, and it's supposed to be eerie amid this crumbling landscape right here. You know, watching this movie, it feels like what Hollywood would do, man. You know, it's making them cute just to cash in on the kid demographic. Mm-hmm. They looked at these robots and they didn't get the whole juxtaposition of this cuteness meaning it's going to be a little creepier because of what, you know, of this hellish landscape that is in. They just saw cute robots and said, oh, kids would love that.
Right.
And it's funny because the best parts of this movie, I thought, kind of evoked horror. You know, where it was like, that's a scary idea, or like, that's a cool thing. That's scary. Oh, now it's dumb.
Yeah, they would, boy, everything that was cool, they were quick to dumb that shit down in a hurry. Also, man, listen, it's I know it's Netflix, but they're doing what Hollywood does. We're gonna cash in this demographic, but also, I mean, are you crazy? We gonna make, you know, something scary and frightening and hellish with these cute characters when we could make money with them? Mm-hmm. We could put them in commercials. Mr. Peanut ain't in that book.
Oh, of course not.
Mr. Peanut in that book. They put Mr. Peanut in here. I mean, maybe he is in the book, but I bet if he is, he ain't holding himself out like he is with this movie right here.
They sure do whore him out, and it's one of these where I was like, okay, cool, you spent the money to get Mr. Peanut. Do you think about making him look like Mr. Peanut? Because I was like, I guess he's Mr. Peanut if you say he is, but that ain't what he looked like to me.
No. Oh, hell no. I look like, it looks like Mr. Peanut. He came back as a zombie. Night of the Living Peanuts. You know, people, seriously, this is what kind of pisses me off about this. You got this great concept with this book, and they went in there and just hollowed that shit out just to make some money. And I'm not even exaggerating. They took Mr. Peanut and hoed his ass out. They actually made him work for peanuts, man. If you don't believe me, they got Mr. Peanut here and they got him selling peanuts in a commercial.
Grab some Planner's nuts and watch Mr. Peanut in The Electric State.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And there's even more egregious product placement in the movie, I think.
They took this book just to sell these nuts over here.
And don't forget Panda Express. At one point, they literally just list the menu of Panda Express. They're like, oh man, dumplings, fried rice. I was like, what the happening?
Boy, I want y'all to look at this. They went from this atmospheric thing right here to
grab some Planner's nuts.
Grab some Planner's nuts. Hey, grab these fucking nuts right here. Oh, I've looked at this. I was like, I'd be goddamn. I know y'all did. I know, boy, that is shameless.
Well, bro, the budget was $320 million.
Now, is it really $320 million?
You know what? I thought it was a rumor, and then I looked it up, and I was like, yep.
I mean, it looks expensive. Some of those effects, they look really good.
Oh, no, the effects
all
are
that,
amazing.
Having to CGI most of the cast.
Yeah, somebody was thinking, because somebody was talking to me the day and like, well, look, what, Chris Pratt cost that much? Like, no, these Mr. Peanut cost that much. these effects in this movie.
And the soundtrack probably too. The needle drops are nonstop.
No, man, that they had 3 songs. That don't cost near $360 million. It was these robots in here that cost so much. Because almost every shot is an effect shot. And it looks cool. I mean, it
might have been cheaper
does.
to build those robots for real.
Yeah.
Some of them, I thought they did build part of them. I was like, maybe that's why it's so expensive.
Yeah, there might be some practical in there, but it's a lot of effects in there. But the book aside, because some people say, well, look, I don't know anything about the book. All right, I'm just watching the movie. Yeah, y'all talking about this book. Let me watch the movie. We're being so nitpicky. Well, I mean, listen, even with the book aside, it don't make any sense to me, because why would every robot look like a rubber hose cartoon character? I get it. Our sports team mascot. I get it. Walt Disney, he designed them. But seriously, 100 years later, we still got these robots?
Yes. Yes, that's what doesn't make sense, because once he designed it and patented it, the way you build robots, other people would start building robots with different designs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you'd have a war, not just from this.
I mean, why does a piece of construction equipment, why does a construction bot need big-ass Mickey Mouse white gloves on?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Skate, we appear to be under some kind of attack.
Well, why did that? Why you need these big Mickey Mouse hands? You go to work lifting equipment with some shit like that.
Yeah, with these big, gigantic sausage fingers that can't do, that don't have fine motor skills to pick up delicate things.
Yeah, that don't make any. That's not.
It's not practical.
That's not practical. Exactly. That makes no sense for a piece of construction equipment.
I mean, honestly, except for entertainment, no machine that moves bipedally like a human makes sense. It's inefficient.
I could understand if they did something where the world evolved to have like this 30s retro aesthetic or something like that.
Yeah.
Like they're doing with like the Fantastic Four, where the world is modern times, but it's still kind of stuck in the 60s.
Yeah.
If they did that, but even with the movie, like here, it's like 1997. So
yeah,
it's like, why don't you bring in a 1997 kind of feel to it?
Yeah, when they start with starting in 1997, it's already, you have a break with reality. You're like, I lived through 1997.
Yeah.
We ain't had nothing even close to this.
That's a good point. A Fallout. How Fallout kept that 50s retro look?
Those robots look identical to robots that you see in Fallout with the face on there.
But they ain't wearing them damn Uncle Ben's Butler white gloves and them Mickey Mouse hands and shit. It just doesn't seem like it makes sense to me to have everything as a theme, looking like a theme park, or a theme park animatronic or something. I mean, again, yes, that was in the book, but it was for a different reason that they look like that. Listen, I keep saying it's a kids movie, but it's a kids movie that sometimes forgets that it's a kids movie.
I forgot. Like it was on the second watch when I got about halfway through it. I was like, "Wait, did this become a kids movie? Oh, I guess it kind of is."
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that sort of explains why it was so dumb to start out. Because this is a movie. I was talking about this the other day. How unbalanced it is, because everything you need to set up the world and the characters, they just speed through that. It's just like that. Okay, now that we're here, now we're going to travel with these people who you kind of don't really know or care about, and you spend a lot of time with them, and it drags, and you're like, they're going from one thing to the next. Is this the Wizard of Oz? Except it's not moving.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, you don't rush the first part.
Hey, everyone, excuse me, but we have to give a word out to our sponsor right now, which is Shopify. And let me stop for a moment to brag about some people in our community, because we have so many smart and talented people in there. You make art, you make clothes. Some of you even have a service that you can provide to people. What I'm saying is that you are ready to start an online business. And if that's the case, then the best place to start is with, of course, Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And now they have Shop Pay, the fastest accelerated checkout on the internet that boosts conversions up to 50%. What does that mean? That means that you get way more sales going and way less carts going abandoned. They have great support 24/7. So from the launch of your online shop all the way to that potential millionth order, Shopify is there to help you grow, because businesses that sell more, they sell on Shopify. And they also know that sometimes when you're starting a business, it takes money to make money. So they're here to help you save money with this code that I have for you right here. Shopify.com/toasted. You put that in all lowercase, you'll get a $1 per month trial period. I want to thank Shopify for sponsoring this portion of the show. My elbow still hurts. I'm so excited about you. And I want to thank all of you out there for your support. Now, back to the video. Problem with the movie is that it still wants to kind of touch on some of the deep concepts from the book, or the movie itself has some deep concepts that are interesting. You know, it's like Ready Player One, where virtual reality has really saturated the world. And this company, I forgot what it's called, Sector or something like that, run by Stanley Tucci's character in the movie. Everybody's so attached to machines, except they hate machines, and so people who are doing virtual reality, they're losing their souls. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the robots seem like they're getting more of a soul. So that's interesting, but they quickly dropped that shit. Kids don't want to hear that.
Yeah, right.
Kids don't want to hear that deep shit. They want to laugh. Kids want to have a good time. So they get into all. This is the biggest problem with the movie for me. Everything is a joke, even when things are serious. Mm-hmm. It's a joke, and it's a goofy ass joke. You know, everything it's just not humor. It's silly cartoon humor.
Yeah, and
they do it in the moments where things are supposed to get darker, where things are supposed to get serious. You know, they always everything's got to be a cartoon. Hell, this might as well be Roger Rabbit or something, man. You know, because even when they're going to war, we got to keep it lighthearted. Is that again a taco playing an organ, playing banjo or something?
Playing organ.
Flying the Valkyries?
Yeah.
This looks like a Super Bowl commercial.
I really hate that in movies where the climax, big action piece is the comedy sidekicks who are beating up the warriors suddenly.
Yeah.
Like, now all of a sudden you know Kung Fu.
Yeah. Get him, Mr. Peanut. Yo, that's the tone of the whole climax of the movie. I'm not trying to give anything away, but it's silly. Like it was supposed to be at this real crucial moment in the movie, and it's played for laughs. And by the way, that battle at the end, everything wraps up so nice.
So nice.
So it's one of those movies where they have a revolution and it's done in 15 minutes.
Oh yeah. It took them days to get there, but it's wrapped up in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And,
they saved the world in 15 minutes.
And it's just such a lazy writer's trick that, once we flip this switch, then all our enemies just fall.
That hive mind thing going on.
Phantom Menace and even the first Avengers movie. You turn this off and then everything it's just over.
And even when they do try to get deep, man, it's done through hokey and dialogue and monologue. So, yeah, man. And that's the other thing, and we already mentioned it here. The other thing is that this cost $320 million. Now, if that's true, I'm sorry, man, that's way too much for a kid's movie.
Yeah.
That's a bloated budget right there.
Yeah, you guys keep bringing up Ready Player One. It's like, we got this IP that will attract. And it's like, you got Mr. Peanut. I don't know what you got beyond that that's going to attract kids. And I don't know how much kids are even into Mr. Peanut or peanuts themselves. Most of them have allergies and can't eat them. Yeah, the way it flirts with when you pulling something up.
When you talking about Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut will save this.
I'm just laughing because you talking about Mr. Peanut. Mr. Peanut's like, Martin, you shut your goddamn mouth. You shut up, Martin.
Hey, Mr. Peanut, I grew up with you. I admire you. I have much respect.
Then watch it. Watch your mouth.
I'm saying it's too much to pin the whole movie on you.
Keep Mr. Peanut's name out your mouth. The Battle of Hats, somebody said. Oh, the fedora versus the top hat.
But yeah, this movie is just. I mean, I really have a pet peeve against dumb sci-fi, and this certainly qualifies. Like the whole setup doesn't really pan out, and yeah, the times it tries to go to something deeper. The humanity of the robots and racism or slavery, or robotism and slavery and all that. It's almost kind of insulting.
Yeah, it is.
The way they just kind of throw it in there. But it would be less insulting if it wasn't every time they do it. It's pulled from some other movie. So much that's what just got me watching this. It's not so much Ready Player One that it's pulling IP from other movies, but it's pulling plot points from so many other movies. Hey, this all feels way too familiar. It's like, yeah, this is that, this is that, this is that, and it's like, so there's not a single fresh idea in here. Even you come down to Chris Pratt, I was like, okay, he's Star-Lord dressed like Han Solo. And that's what I mean, the most you got with him is a mullet and a biker mustache. And otherwise, he's the same as he is in every movie that he's not really trying in. And I don't fault him. It's just what the job was. But there's just nothing here to go like, oh, wow, I like how he did that.
Well, it's funny because I was thinking the same thing. That's why I had this picture ready because Chris Pratt. Look, man, there's only so many times you can keep playing the lovable rogue.
Yeah.
All right. And it's funny because
the goofy lovable rogue.
The goofy lovable rogue, man, and they, they've done this so many times. It's almost like they just getting desperate to find different ways for him to play it. Now, like here, I don't know why they put this damn wet dog on his head. I mean, this bad wig. That's the only thing. Like, he's the same guy. We're just gonna put on a different wig right here.
Right. And in the beginning, I guess you kind of laugh, and it's like, this is just distracting. Are you going to take that off at some point?
No.
They bring a lot of attention to his hair in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, in Millie Bobby Brown, I mean, I guess, I know she's like desperate to like, I'm not a kid. I'm trying to get away from being connected to these boys. But she just seems to just pop up in these big budget dumb movies.
Yeah, she's going through a rough patch right now, trying to pick projects to separate herself from 11. Stranger Things, but and I think she's good. I think her and Chris Pratt are good together, but there's not much of their character.
No. And we spent a lot of time with them where it's like, man, if you had set these up, I would really care, but I do not.
Stanley Tucci is nothing but, I mean, I hate when movies make it too obvious. I mean, he's Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously wearing black turtleneck and glasses and things.
I know.
Stanley Tucci's always great. Stanley Tucci's a pro. He's a great actor, but I mean, that's not much to him. He's just a more evil Steve Jobs.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of brings something to, that's the mark of a great actor, where they're able to even bring something to a character that's barely on the paper.
Yeah, all these characters are shallow because they're shadows of other characters. Mm-hmm. Listen, the movie has its moments where it can be fun. It's just so much else wrong with this. Here's another thing that's wrong with the movie, because it's just, if you're in it just for the visuals and you're in it just to see these interesting concepts on these robots, that's cool. I just watched it for the visuals for most of the time because the writing is bullshit in this. I mean, seriously, because there are a lot of things that they don't explain in here. So the brother, his name is Skip. Steve Jobs, or evil Steve, Stanley Tucci Jobs, whatever. They wanted him for his brain in order to power up the technology behind the virtual reality that everybody's using. They don't explain why they want his brain.
No.
They don't explain what is so special about him. Well, they say he's smart.
He's smart.
That's it. Because they don't show. Look, they don't make him like Tony Stark or something.
Well, it's also we can't do this without his brain. But it's like, this is a human. He's going to die at some point. You can't figure out how to do this without him. You're going to be anyway.
Yeah. Well, in the movie, that's another thing. They said that they were able to keep him alive for 100 years, but they never say how. They never say why. Also, another thing with the movie,
Using a kid's brain as a server.
and that's
So
nothing,
dumb.
This kid is just as goofy as they don't show him doing. And at the beginning of the movie, he's in, how they always do it in movies to show somebody smart. He's solving some equation, and that's it.
Right.
He's taking a test that they say Einstein took.
Oh, get the out of here!
Yeah, what is it, Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah, and also these robots. They don't ever explain how they become sentient or how they become, intelligent enough to want to be independent. They never explain that.
Or how they're powered out when they're living out in the desert.
Yeah, none of this. They don't give you a whole lot to go with story wise. They hope that just the action and the special effects and the fast pace is going to be enough to make you not ask questions. Well, too bad.
And maybe it could, but it doesn't keep the fast pace. There's several times it slows down. So it slows way down, and that gives you time to think.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Marvel, come get these boys over here, these Russo boys, because Netflix don't know what to do with them, man. Netflix, every project that Netflix has given them has been subpar to what they've done with Marvel.
Yeah, like the Gray Man.
The Gray Man, yeah.
And that's considered to be the best thing they've done, really.
And
that's not Marvel.
And that was another one of those that was just the writing was so bad.
Cherry's interesting from just see Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or what Tom Holland do something different. He's great in the movie, but the movie's not all that great. They didn't write this, by the way. So, but this is just a bad adaptation of a book. I mean, they took everything that was meaningful from it and just, like I said, hollowed it out. Like I said, it can be entertaining. It does have an interesting look when it's not cracking jokes all the time. And like I said, kids will probably watch this several times, but the story is forgettable. And you don't look when you got a $320 million price tag, you better not forget that shit.
Right?
That's $320 million just to not even think about that anymore.
Yeah. You only make your money back if you get repeat viewing.
Yeah, I don't know what Netflix's plan is with this, but and it might not matter. I mean, streaming might be a whole different thing, and they might make their money in a different way, and this will pay for itself. I don't know. As far as a movie goes, though, you heard the problems that we gave it are mentioned here. I give this a very low rental, and I'm getting it by on a rental just because, like I said, I think that it looks cool. If anything kept my attention, because I didn't know anything about it when I started watching this. I didn't know anything about the book. I didn't know anything about this. I didn't even know this was coming out. Somebody told me Kevin told me we had a screener for it. And then they told me who was in it. And I said, okay, this is going to be pretty big. And I started watching it. And I was like, all right, this looks cool. But as far as the story goes, that shortly ran out. It was very obvious later that they had nothing going on here. So yeah, that's a very low rental for me.
I'd read bad reviews about this before we got it.
Really?
And that first time I was watching it and falling asleep, I was just kind of like, yeah, this is about as bad as they said it was. And I passed out, and then I was like, I got to be fair to this. Let me watch it again when I'm awake. And watching it again, I guess I was kind of over it. So I was like, all right, well, this beginning. I mean, once you get past this part where they rush the story to get to where they are. But I was like, well, I guess it's okay. But then when they got to the parts I didn't remember, and I was like, no, this is actually really bad. There was just no denying it. That they're like, man, everything that could have been good about this, it was good in another movie. But here it feels stitched together, almost like from a kit. This is the blockbuster kit, and these are things we put in here. I mean, we know they've worked before, so we'll just construct it like some Legos. I follow with you, just a low rental.
Yeah, I'm talking about scraping low rental too.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm surprised. I thought I was going to be the one that gave it the highest rating because I also give it like extremely low rental, like teetering on bullshit because I think the visuals are amazing and there's a lot of cool stuff to see in this movie, but that's it. This is really sad to see. I think the Russo brothers are really talented. They know how to pick up the camera. They just need to learn how to write a script.
I had to stop and be like the Low Reynolds because I was like, the actors do the best they can, but I thought Anthony Mackie was actually very good, very good.
Yeah,
Because I didn't, you can't recognize that as his voice.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie is that's him right here. He's the sidekick robot of Chris Pratt's character. Tell you what though, if you really want to see something that has just a little more storytelling integrity by the same author and it's a close concept, Amazon did this. What is it? They did something, and it's called the. Let me see here. It's called the Tales from the Loop, and it's from the writer and author that did this, and the artist, and it's a similar concept in that you're seeing how technology is integrating with normal everyday life. It might not be as fast, it might even be as fun, but it looks, again, the story looks like it has a little more respect.
Well, there's so many, stories, movies about robots taking over or becoming sentient are just so much better than this. Like the movie Creator, which we weren't crazy about, but it had more to it, and it only cost $80 million.
Yeah, exactly. And the Creator had a lot of effect shots in there, so I don't know what's going on, man. Here's a good question before we move on. 3-minute reviews. Says, does this make you feel nervous about them doing Doomsday?
Yeah.
Everything makes me nervous about that movie, not just them. And I'm not trying to pick on Marvel, but they pivoted so quickly from Kane the Conqueror to Doctor Doom with no real build-up that it makes me think like, okay, is this going to be rushed? The Russo brothers on there, actually the thing that's making me feel good if they let them write it, because these other movies, I don't think I don't know. They didn't write this one, of course. Mm-hmm. But did they write the
Gray Man? I don't know. But, Gray Man and this were based on other properties, like books.
Okay, yeah.
So with Doomsday, maybe if, they get in there and they're there from scratch.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it's the one thing we've seen them not just do, but do excellently.
And maybe Kevin Feige will show up with the right bottle of secret sauce, because he's having him in the room makes a difference.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of things I'm worried about. I'm thinking the Russo brothers they're the ones who have proven to have the best track record window over at Marvel. They might get that shit straight. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.